Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, watching the primitive blue planet grow larger on the view screen. Behind his fleet of 12,000 warships, the combined might of the Galactic Confederation stretched across the void, a armada so vast it had never known defeat in 3,000 years of conquest. This is their homeworld? Vexthor's mandibles clicked with amusement. The humans have nowhere left to run. His tactical officer, a crystalline shard named Krelix, projected the battlefield hologram. Earth hung in the center, defenseless. Humanity's colony worlds had already fallen. Their military outposts had been reduced to ash. Now only this single planet remained, cornered and alone. They have exactly 47 combat vessels in orbit, Krelix reported. All outdated models. Their weapon systems are primitive. Victory is assured within the hour, Admiral. Vexthor had studied the humans during their brief, violent introduction to galactic politics. They were a young species, aggressive, unpredictable, and foolishly brave. When the Confederation had demanded their submission 3 cycles ago, the humans had responded with a single word: no. That word had cost them everything. Or so Vexthor believed. Open a channel, he commanded. Let them hear their doom. The view screen flickered and a human face appeared. Fleet Admiral Sarah Chen, commander of Earth's remaining forces. Her hair was gray, her face lined with exhaustion, but her eyes held something that made Vexthor pause, not fear but calculation. Humanity, Vexthor began, his translator rendering his words into the crude human language. You are surrounded. Your colonies are gone. Your fleets are destroyed. Surrender now and we will permit your species to survive as laborers for the Confederation. Resist, and we will sterilize your planet and erase your existence from history. Chen smiled. It was not the expression of a defeated commander. Admiral Vexthor, she said calmly, you've made a critical error in judgment. You think you've cornered us. But let me share something about human history. We're most dangerous when we have our backs against the wall. Empty bravado, Vexthor snarled. You have 47 ships against 12,000. Your weapons cannot penetrate our shields. You're right, Chen interrupted. We can't beat you in a straight fight. That's why we didn't plan for one. Before Vexthor could respond, his sensor officer shrieked in alarm. Admiral! Energy signatures. Massive energy signatures emerging from the planet's surface. Thousands of them. The hologram exploded with red warning markers. From Earth, from its moon, from the asteroid belt, from positions that had registered as nothing but empty space. Weapons platforms activated. Not dozens, not hundreds. Thousands upon thousands of concealed railgun batteries, missile silos, and something else. Something that made the Eternal Dominion's threat assessment system wail in panic. What is that? Vexthor demanded, watching a strange distortion ripple through his formation. Gravitational anomalies. Krelix's crystalline structure flickered with fear. They're collapsing the dimensional manifold around our fleet. We can't activate FTL drives. We're trapped in normal space. Chen's smile widened. 3 years ago, when you first threatened us, we knew we couldn't match your technology. So we stopped trying. Instead, we built a cage. The first volley of human weapons struck the Confederation fleet. Primitive kinetic projectiles moving at relativistic speeds, crude but devastating at close range. Ships that had laughed at human weapons now found their shields overwhelmed by sheer volume of fire. The humans weren't trying to outshoot them. They were trying to drown them. Return fire, Vexthor roared. Destroy those platforms! His fleet began obliterating the weapon installations, reducing them to molten slag. But for every platform destroyed, 10 more opened fire. The humans had turned their entire solar system into a fortress, and they'd lured the Confederation fleet into its heart. Admiral, his communication officer reported, voice trembling. The other fleet groups are requesting assistance. The humans have deployed similar traps at every major Confederation staging area, within 50 light-years. They're attacking our supply lines, our reinforcements. Impossible! Vexthor slammed his appendage against the command console. Our intelligence said they had no faster-than-light capability. They don't, Chen said, her image still on the view screen. We've been sending sublight drones for 3 years, moving in the dark, waiting at every location our network intelligence told us you'd use. You thought you were hunting us. You never realized we were hurting you. Another series of explosions rocked the Eternal Dominion. Vexthor watched in horror as a quarter of his fleet, 3,000 warships, vanished in a cascading antimatter detonation. The humans had filled the space around Earth with mines, each one a miniature sun waiting to be triggered. "We studied you," Chen continued, her voice cutting through the chaos on the bridge. "Every species the Confederation ever conquered, they defeated the same way. Overwhelming force in a decisive battle. You're not used to fighting desperate enemies. You've forgotten what it means to face an opponent who will do anything, sacrifice anything, to survive." Vex Thor's tactical display was a nightmare of red. His fleet was being cut apart, not by superior technology but by tactics he'd never encountered. The humans fought like cornered animals, vicious, unpredictable, willing to trade 10 of their installations for one of his ships. "Admiral," Krelix whispered, "we've lost 40% of the fleet. If we don't retreat, we can't retreat," Vex Thor roared. "The gravitational traps will dissipate in 72 hours, Chen said. "If you survive that long, you wanted to corner humanity, Admiral. Congratulations. You're now trapped in Sol system with a species that spent 3 years preparing for this exact moment. We've stockpiled enough ammunition to fight for months. We've automated our weapons so they'll keep firing even if every human dies. And we've sent a message to every enslaved species in the Confederation." "What message?" Vex Thor demanded. Chen's expression hardened. "That the mighty Confederation fleet can bleed. That their invincible armada can be beaten. That resistance is possible." The battle raged for 3 days. When it ended, only 2,000 Confederation ships limped away from Earth, battered and broken. The humans had lost thousands of installations and 20 of their 47 ships, but they had done the impossible. They had won. News of the Battle of Sol spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Within a cycle, 17 subjugated species rose in rebellion. The Confederation, which had ruled through fear and overwhelming force, suddenly found that fear had a new target: humanity. And in the depths of space, in hidden shipyards built in the shadows of dead stars, humans were already constructing their next surprise, because they had learned something the Confederation never understood. When you corner a species that refuses to die, you don't get a victim, you get a warrior.